Hello and welcome back to my channel. In the last video, we discussed a few basic concepts of research methodology. And we stopped at the point of, is research really scientific? So let's define research as a beautiful blend of art and science. Art because it largely depends upon the skill sets and judgment of the researcher. And science because it is based on the principles of statistics and mathematics. The next question that often comes in the minds of individuals is research dependable? It is definitely dependable, and quantitative research can be accurate to the extent of 99%. But does it fail? Yes, it does fail. And why does it fail? There are numerous reasons why research can fail. If research problem is not correctly defined, then research is likely to fail. Or if there is an incorrect use of research design, or if the sample selected is not completely representative of the population, and so on and so forth. Numerous opinion surveys predicting elections have gone wrong, and we have seen them on television. To be very frank, nothing in this world is 100% fail-proof. Now, having understood that research is both scientific and dependable, let's understand what are the two primary types of research. The first type is called as a theoretical, basic, fundamental, or pure. All these four terms can be considered as synonymous. This type of research is done to satisfy the hunger of knowledge. In fact, such research may not have an immediate application. For example, the research done by a lot of academicians is not going to have an immediate decision making. Similarly, a concept car introduced by an auto company which is never commercially launched is another example of theoretical research. It's very pertinent to note here that who does the research or the topic of research does not make it basic or applied. It is the intention or intent of doing the research that classifies it as theoretical or applied. For example, a study of the rate of illiteracy amongst women in rural India conducted by the Social Welfare Department will be basic research as it may not be applied at all. The research may find itself into some files and never again used by anyone. But on the other hand, if the same research is done by, say, an educational institution, then their objective will be to start those many schools in rural India and take advantage of the research. So applied research is basically called as the type of research which has an immediate decision making or application, and the application may also be in the form of a commercial application. The next distinction between the research can also be made on the basis of whether it is a quantitative research or a qualitative research. Quantitative research, as the name suggests, is based on data or facts. Qualitative research deals with behavioral issues. Let's further understand the difference between quantitative and qualitative in depth. So firstly, quantitative is divided into three parts. There's an inferential, there's an experimental, and there's also a simulation. What is inferential? A person collects a data and analyzes the data and infers from the data or makes some conclusions from the data about the characteristics or relationships of the population. Experimental is where some variables or a single variable may be purposefully manipulated to understand its impact on the dependent variable. Simulation is construction of an artificial environment within which relevant information can be generated. Model building for future problems is an example. Let's take a day-to-day life example of simulation. We all have learned driving cars or two-wheelers. If you join any car learning school or academy, the first thing they do is to put you on a simulator and they train you to drive or make you aware of the different aspects of car driving on the simulator, and only then, when the trainer is confident, he is going to put you on the car and give you the actual feel of the car on the road. Even a pilot is not directly put on the aircraft and allowed to fly. He is put on a simulator, he does the simulation, he understands flying in an artificial environment, and then only he is allowed to go and fly a plane. Qualitative research basically studies attitudes, perceptions, opinions, and behavior of a person. For example, if I'm a retail outlet and I'm interested in understanding where does the customer, after entering my retail outlet, reach out first. I'm talking about the rack, the place in the rack, the type of products that he gets attracted to, the way he feels the product, what are the facial responses that he gives when he sees the product or when he feels the product. All these are qualitative in nature. Psychoanalytical studies can also be another name or term or a part of qualitative research. Now, having understood this, let's understand the elements that make research scientific or scientific research. So, methodology must be transparent. If I do a research and someone else is going to do the research, he should be easily be able to find out what methodology had I adopted. The second requirement is it should presuppose ethical neutrality. That means we should understand at this point that the biggest enemy of research is a bias. So if you start your research with a bias or with an unethical intent, for example, a local corporator here hires me to conduct an opinion survey and tells me that the outcome of my opinion survey should indicate that he is winning, then this very basis is an unethical one, and therefore such research will not be considered as a good research. The third requirement is research should be backed by absolute logic and it should be based on facts. That is what we call it as empirical research. The next requirement is it should cover all probable solutions. If there's only one possible solution, then you don't need research. You just have to adopt that method or that solution and go ahead. It should also provide the concrete basis for decision making. Research, if implemented, can involve a lot of complexities, a lot of money being involved, and hence your decisions should not go wrong. And therefore, the basis for decision making in the research should be absolutely based on concrete facts. Last but not least, conclusions should be absolutely replicable. I would like to stop at this point, and I would like to continue in the next video about the further details on research methodology. If you have liked this video, please press the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you. See you in my next video.